How's it going, everybody? Justin here with Berserker's Ballistics, and today we're going to be talking about the Strike Industries Jcomp Gen 2 and the Strike Industries Oppressor. Alright, so to start off, we're going to talk about the Jcomp. By itself, I think it's best if we just do this kind of separately, but also kind of together because they do coincide with each other and they do feed off each other. So I'll just make one video to make it quick for everybody, and you guys can see how they both work together. So the Jcomp 2 is a muzzle device. They say it's a hybrid muzzle brake and compensator, which is pretty awesome. That's something I was looking for when I was upgrading my rifle. You know, I wanted this thing to shoot as flat as possible. Now, I wasn't sure how much of an effect this would have when I was shooting. Honestly, I've only ever shot with the birdcage on, but to be honest, this was a very pleasant surprise when I got this on here. First, let's talk a little bit about price, and then we'll go into this in depth. First, I just want to say that I'm not affiliated with Strike Industries at all. I bought this with my own money, and everything I'm going to say is my thoughts on it. It's going to be an honest review. So when I was looking at different muzzle devices, I really wanted something that's a little budget friendly, nothing too over the top. I've seen, you know, really expensive muzzle devices going maybe into the $100, you know, maybe max $100. This thing comes in at $43.95, which is pretty decent price. I know a couple years ago they were a little less, but right now you can go on Strike Industries website and buy this for $43.95. Now, before this, I had never changed a muzzle device on a gun. I only had taken them off and put them back on. You know, nothing crazy complicated. This was also not crazy complicated. It was actually really easy to put on. Recently, I've been really into AR-15 builds, and I want to get into them a little more, especially on the channel. Obviously, I won't be able to show you guys how to put one together because they don't like that on YouTube. But I will be able to lay out all the pieces that I get and kind of show you what the build's going to look like, and then I can show you afterwards what that build looks like once it's all put together. With that workbench, I also bought a vise, but then I realized that I don't have a vise block to hold the lower receiver. So what I did was I just went onto one of the 3D printing websites and I found a vise block. Real easy print, probably a couple hours. I did, you know, throw it into the magazine well. I set it up on the vise and it worked perfectly. I was able to get the old muzzle device off, which was just a standard A2 birdcage. And this is where I got a little bit of trouble putting the Jcomp on, was because it's not the same size as a regular, you know, A2 muzzle device. So I just got a wrench and put some tape on it and tightened it down a little bit. Now, tightening it down was a little frustrating at first, but then once I realized that there are two portholes on the top and one hole on the bottom, it made it really easy to time it correctly and get it set onto the rifle in the right position. Speaking of the hole on the bottom, that is a place where you could pin and weld this if you needed to. If you wanted to go with a shorter barrel and needed to pin and weld it to meet the 16-inch requirement, according to certain 3-letter agencies, then that's easy to do. Now, all these holes that are on here, including these two small holes on top, are put there for a specific purpose, and that is to help reduce recoil while you're shooting it. As gases get pushed out of your barrel, they get pushed out of these two vents right here and then out of the top two holes as well. Now, that throws a lot of concussive forces off to your left and right, which could be a problem if you're on range and you have people off to your left and right, or maybe just off to your left, or maybe off to your right. But that's where the Oppressor comes in. So the Oppressor is a blast forwarding device. It takes all those gases and pushes it straight forward towards the direction of where you're shooting. This helps contain those concussive forces and doesn't drive them out sideways and just pushes them straight forward. Now, the Oppressor is pretty easy to use. It only works on certain muzzle devices though. I will have a list of these muzzle devices right here. If you want some more time to look at those, go ahead and pause the video or follow the link down below and you'll see all of the muzzle devices that it will work with. Now the Oppressor works on a ratcheting system, so all you got to do is put it onto your muzzle device, ratchet it down, and it'll lock in place. Makes it really easy to get on and off. If you want to, take it off after a range session, it's easy to do that. You could just leave it on there if you wanted to. It really is up to you. But that's enough about the Oppressor. It's a pretty simple device. It's nothing crazy. It's a really good device for something like the Jcomp Gen 2. Now, the Jcomp Gen 2 is really easy to install. Like I said, all you got to do is have a wrench. Now, I've heard from other people that a standard armorer's wrench won't work because it is bigger than a regular muzzle device. But that's fine. All you got to do is either pad an adjustable wrench or pad this part and kind of just, crank it down as hard as you can until these two holes line up. When I went to go install it, it was easier to just take my scope off and, work with my rifle that way, just so I don't have to, worry about damaging my scope. So that's what I did. These two devices were kind of a recommendation from Tactical Toolbox on one of his videos. He did put it on one of his 300 blackout PCCs, which was pretty awesome, and I thought, wow, that looks really great. I should try it on my rifle, so that's what I did. I bought it and threw it on my rifle, and I could not be happier. Now, I did throw this on a couple days ago, and I was really excited to test it out. I thought, I know it's going to be a little louder because of those concussive forces getting blown outwards and not just straight forwards. Here I am, shooting at 25 yards onto a zeroing target. So we have the Jcomp on here. I'm gonna re-zero this because I did take off my scope, so I have a zeroing target out there. We're at 25 yards, so I'll make adjustments accordingly. But let's get started. Now here on the first 3 rounds, you can see that I did go a little low on one of the rounds, and I'm just going to assume that's the first one out of the barrel because usually that one is off a little bit. Now I went back and I made my adjustments, and then I shot another 3 rounds, as you do. So now we have the Oppressor on. We're gonna see if it makes any difference in sounds or if it makes any difference in the zeroing. Hopefully it'll be good. Honestly, those first few rounds really surprised me. All of the upgrades that I've made to this rifle, it just feels like a completely different gun. And it's only been really 3 things, which was the muzzle device, the spring, and the trigger. If you want to go look at that, go ahead and click on my profile and find I upgraded my AR-15 video. You can see the other 2 things that I upgraded. Now sometimes after I shoot, I don't know, I would say over 30 rounds, I do get a little sore in my shoulder area just because, I'm old. Well, I'm getting old, so I do feel it in my shoulder a little bit. At least I used to before, and now with the Jcomp, it feels like I'm not even shooting anything. It feels great. I'm not sore anymore, and I feel like I'm shooting a lot flatter with all of these upgrades. Now, I wasn't able to make adjustments on the left and right plane because my red dot was kind of in the way there. Taking off the cap for the turret, it was kind of a bit of a pain, so I'm just gonna have to move my red dot forward a little bit and readjust that sometime in the near future. But honestly, it's only a couple clicks off, so if I need to make those adjustments, I could just go back out and make those adjustments real quick, and it's not that big of a deal. Because I wasn't able to make that adjustment right there on the spot, I did shoot a little to the right, which lined me up kind of perfectly. I was one box to the right, which means I was 1 inch over. I was aiming 1 inch over, which got me right on target. Now, is this good practice? No. I would say don't do this. If you have a way to, you know, adjust your left and right, do it right then. But for me, it's not that big of a deal. I have my range here at my house, so I could go out tomorrow, make those adjustments, and it'll be fine. Now with the Oppressor on, I don't know if I was shooting a little more to the right than I was before, but it did go down into the right a little bit. I wouldn't say it's that much of a difference, especially at 25 yards. It's not that big of a deal, but maybe at 100 yards it might make a difference. I'll have to go out and test that out myself, which I'm going to be doing a video on correcting a mistake that I made in one of my last videos, which was the 6-hour scope video. So if you want to stay tuned to that, make sure you're subscribed and leave a like on the video. Now, just for liberal giggles, I went and mag dumped a little bit. Honestly, I thought it was pretty good. I thought, you know, I was able to get back on target. I was shooting really flat. You know, my trigger is a little lighter, which is nice. I'm able to get down back on target and really put rounds down range very easily. And I had a lot of fun doing it. Before I made any upgrades to my rifle, I did feel like it was a little clunky. It was kind of just, you know, really slow at times. Now I'm able to get rounds down range and kind of go a little fast with it and do what guns are meant to do, which is shoot, get bullets down range, and have fun with it. But with all that being said, if you enjoy this kind of content, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I will be more than happy to get to as many as I can, or all of them, really, because not a lot of you comment on my videos, so that's completely fine. Anyways, stay safe, shoot straight, and I'll see you on the next one.